falsely accused of people trafficking, facing charges over 2 deaths. As Emmerdale's toughest farmer stares down the terrifying prospect of spending the rest of her life in prison, actress Natalie J Robb responds to the burning question fans can't stop asking: could this really be the end of Moira Dingle? Up to now, 2026 has been nothing short of disastrous for Moira. Alongside dealing with husband Cain Dingle's potentially fatal cancer diagnosis, she now risks losing her liberty after being set up by the vile Celia Daniels. For months, the cold-hearted mastermind had been running a modern slavery ring, exploiting vulnerable workers, including much-loved villager Bear Wolf, in horrific conditions close to Butler's farm, all without Moira realizing. After all, why would she ever doubt someone she considered a friend? Although Moira began to grow suspicious of some shady dealings among her business associates, she never suspected the truth was quite so dark. And now, matters are about to spiral further. Despite the fact that the ruthless trafficker is dead, Celia appears determined to have the final victory, with Moira arrested for crimes she didn't commit. Natalie J Robb opens up about Moira's immediate emotional response to this devastating twist. She's absolutely trapped in a nightmare, the actress explains. She feels like everything is being stripped away from her, and the betrayal by Celia hits especially hard because she genuinely believed they were friends. That makes it even more heartbreaking. Although she had her doubts early on, she ended up trusting Celia again, and things finally seemed to be improving. Then everything collapsed, and on top of that, she's carrying the worry of Cain's illness. At the moment, Cain's health is her biggest focus. In a strange way, that's what's keeping her going right now. Being framed for modern slavery is horrific enough, but long-time viewers will remember there is also a body hidden on the farm. Anya, the exploited worker who died tragically and was buried on the land. As part of Celia's sick scheme, Anya was wrapped in Moira's own blanket. That detail alone makes the case against Moira extremely damaging. And let's not forget that Celia herself was killed by her son, Ray Walters, in the kitchen. This brings the total number of deaths linked to Butler's farm to 2, and Moira is being held responsible for both. Reflecting on the frightening uncertainty surrounding Moira's situation, Natalie J Robb reveals what terrifies her character most about prison. Being torn away from her family and not knowing what lies ahead, she says. It's the fear of the unknown and the pain of being separated from the people she loves. That's what hurts her the most. Her family is what will help her survive. She keeps imagining a future beyond this and what that might look like, but the uncertainty is what truly frightens her, not knowing what will happen or how long she might be locked away. Over time, she may slowly come to accept that she could be there far longer than she ever expected. The outlook is undeniably grim for the Dale's most resilient farmer. However, for Emmerdale viewers worried that Moira may soon disappear from the screen for good, Natalie J Robb offers reassurance that her character's future on the show remains safe. "I think the very first thing they'd tell you is, 'This is it for you,'" she explains. "I've been fortunate enough to secure another contract, so if I were actually leaving, they'd clearly say, 'Sorry, this is your exit.' Because they only talked me through the storyline, that thought never crossed my mind. At the time, I simply didn't know how long she'd be inside, or just how serious the accusations were going to become. But this storyline is huge, because she's not only facing the loss of the farm, she also feels like she's losing Cain, who means absolutely everything to her. For Moira, family is her whole world. That's what keeps her fighting. Although Moira isn't disappearing from the show just yet, she certainly won't be relaxing with a drink at the Woolpack anytime soon. Instead, viewers should brace themselves for powerful emotional moments set inside a prison visiting room, as Natalie hints at what's ahead. "Yeah, they're really intense. I won't sugarcoat it," she admits. "They're usually two-hander scenes, which makes them especially charged. I've already filmed a few with Jeff, and they're strong, gripping moments. There's only so much you can physically do when the setting is a prison cell, so it becomes very focused on the story and the characters rather than flashy visuals. That's what makes the scenes feel so raw and intense." So is there any hope left for Moira? Natalie chooses to stay optimistic. It's an absolute nightmare for her, she says, but hopefully she'll manage to find a way through it all in the end. Emmerdale favourite confirms future after 17 years amid fan concerns. With Moira now facing charges over 2 murders, fans have questioned whether this marks the end of her time in the village. However, Natalie has reassured viewers that this is not an exit storyline. Speaking to the Mirror, the actress addressed whether she initially feared the plot could signal Moira's departure once producers revealed what was ahead. In doing so, she shared a key detail that confirms her future on the show. In upcoming episodes, Moira is charged with the murders of Anya and Celia Daniels after both bodies are discovered buried on her land. The shocking finds lead to her arrest and imprisonment, placing her at the centre of one of the soap's darkest storylines in years. Natalie, who has been part of Emmerdale for 17 years, confirmed that while Moira will be sent to prison and viewers can expect intense and emotional scenes, the storyline does not mean she is leaving the show. She revealed she has no plans to exit and has recently signed another year-long contract, ensuring Moira's place on the soap for the foreseeable future. If it was going to be the end, that would be the first thing they'd tell you, Natalie explained. They'd say, "This is your exit." I've been lucky enough to sign another contract, so when they talked me through the storyline, I didn't think I was leaving. At that point, I just didn't know how long she'd be inside or how serious the accusations were going to become. Moira's time behind bars is set to be a nightmare as she struggles to prove her innocence. Natalie said her character feels like she's losing everything, but her biggest concern remains her husband Cain. She's got Cain to worry about, she said. In a strange way, that's what's getting her through it at the moment. Natalie added that Moira is completely overwhelmed by the reality of her situation and finds it hard to believe that it's really happening. Life in prison won't be easy either. Natalie warned that Moira may not make many friends and could even end up injured, though she insisted the character will be able to handle herself. She's going to have to stand up for herself, she explained. Once word spreads about why she's inside, there will be reactions. You'll probably see the odd black eye or grazed knuckles, but Moira will always fight back. Natalie described the prison scenes as particularly intense, noting that many are two-hander moments. She confirmed she has already filmed several scenes with Jeff Hordley, who plays Cain. Meanwhile, Cain's situation worsens in Moira's absence as he secretly battles an aggressive cancer diagnosis. Natalie revealed that Cain hides the truth to protect Moira, but his health continues to decline, eventually forcing him to open up. Emmerdale airs weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and ITVX.